And we start the day's other headlines with efforts by Ukraine's president to keep the world's attention on his country's war against Russia. Volodymyr Zelensky's speech today at the UN General Assembly comes as much of the focus has been on events in the Middle East. He warned neighboring countries in Europe and Central Asia that the war could come for them as well. And Zelensky urged world leaders not to accept any peace proposals from Russia or its allies to end the conflict.
When some propose alternatives, half-hearted settlement plans, so-called sets of principles, it not only ignores reality, but also gives Putin the political space to continue the war and pressure the world to bring more nations under control.
Shortly before Zelensky took the stage, an official in Ukraine said that a Russian strike hit the town of Kramatorsk. 2 people were killed and a dozen more injured, including 3 children. Tomorrow, Zelensky is set to meet with President Biden in Washington to lay out what he calls a victory plan. Details have been kept secret, but Zelensky has said it's meant to be a bridge toward ending the war. A bipartisan Senate investigation says Secret Service failures during the July assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump were preventable. The interim report from the Senate Homeland Security Committee found mistakes in planning, communications, and the use of resources. The report also found the Secret Service was notified about an individual on a nearby roof about 2 minutes before the gunman opened fire. And 22 seconds before the shooting, a local officer sent a radio alert that was not relayed to vital Secret Service personnel. Mr. Trump was wounded in the ear in the July 13th shooting. 1 rally-goer was killed and 2 others were injured. The House of Representatives passed a temporary measure to keep the government funded just days ahead of next week's deadline. The measure passed by a vote of 341 to 82 this afternoon, with Republican Speaker Mike Johnson relying on the support of Democrats to supply a large number of the votes. The bill generally funds agencies at current levels through December 20th, so that's well after the November election. The bill also includes more than $200 million to support the U.S. Secret Service. It still needs to pass the Senate, but is widely expected to do so. Turning now to a series of stories from around the country. An evacuation order remains in effect in an Ohio town following a chemical leak that started yesterday. Firefighters in Cleves, just west of Cincinnati, tried to contain a leak of styrene. That's a toxic chemical used to make plastic and rubber. The White House says that President Biden has been briefed on the situation. No injuries have been reported. In Los Angeles, a gunman hijacked a city bus, leaving 1 person dead. The driver was held at gunpoint and forced to drive through downtown LA in the early hours of the morning. Police trailed the bus for an hour before it stopped, and the suspect surrendered. Also in California, an explosion injured 2 people at the Santa Maria courthouse today. Authorities detained 1 person and said they believe the explosion was intentional. The court complex was closed for the day and all court business was canceled. And Wall Street today saw some stocks inch back from their all-time records. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost nearly 300 points, falling back below 42,000. The Nasdaq notched an ever-so-small gain on the day, and the S&P lost nearly 11 points a day after it reached an all-time high. Still to come on the NewsHour, one family's journey to access gender-affirming care after their state banned it for trans youth. Why Missouri executed a prisoner even though the victim's family said his life should have been spared. And a new book takes a hopeful view of the climate crisis, asking the question, what if we get it right?
This is the PBS NewsHour from the David M. Rubenstein Studio at WETA in Washington, and in the West from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State University.